Hello and welcome back to Overbooked. I'm Amanda and today we're going to be doing another sustainability video. If you're new to my channel or if you're just kind of stumbling along this video because you're looking at sustainability videos, I usually do book videos, but I try to do a sustainability video once a month just to kind of fuel my interest in sustainability and to kind of also keep myself accountable to make sure that I'm paying attention to my own actions and trying to get out information for other people. Hopefully it's helpful. Start conversations. So this month we're going to talk about plastic-free July. It is July when this video is going out. It's July 17th, so it's a little late. I don't think that you just have to be plastic-free, obviously, in July. Plastic-free July is supposed to be an initiative to kind of like make you look at how you're consuming plastic and ways that you can cut back in your everyday life. And I think there's a lot of really easy ways to cut back or just kind of make sure that you're using less of plastic. So we're gonna go over some of those today, but before I get started, the last video I did was focusing on intersectional environmentalism. So I'm trying to be more mindful when I do these videos that they're not just videos that are only like accessible or relevant to privileged people or people of a higher class, or I want these videos to be relevant and hopefully accessible to everybody who's watching them. And always, call me out, or if you have suggestions on how I can do better, please let me know. Before I get into the options, I'm going to talk about 5 ways that you can ease into being plastic free. I think it's really important to remember that being plastic free is a choice. So I am going to link this TED Talk below, but I found this TED Talk from the Intersectional Environmentalism website, and it's by this man whose name is escaping me, but he starts off the talk by talking about how plastic is a choice. Using plastic and being able to go zero waste and stuff is a privilege and a choice that a lot of us get to make that a lot of poor people or marginalized people don't get to make. So keep that in mind when you're making the choice or you're making the switch, or if you see somebody who hasn't really committed to making the switch, they just might not have the choice to do that. So really want to keep that in mind. I'm going to link the Intersectional Environmentalist website below and also link that TED Talk because I thought it was really, really informative. So let's dive into what I think that we can be doing, like 5 easy switches that you can do, or I don't know if I really want to call them switches, just 5 easy ways that you can kind of try to be more plastic free. And some of them involve plastic, so let's go. So the first one is plastic baggies. So we all use these in our lunches, which we're not packing lunches anymore, right? But whatever, some of us are. These things, they're like terrible, right? A lot of people just use them once and throw them away. I was a offender of that when I lived at my parents' house. My parents did it, I just did what they did. And honestly, I was in one of my college classes, in my marketing classes, and my professor was like, yeah, Ziploc did like a terrible job because they didn't know that they were making a product that was reusable, and so nobody would buy their product again. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, you can wash these bags, and that's what a lot of people do. Eye opener for me. I was living under a rock. So plastic baggies are fairly inexpensive. They're less expensive than getting like the zero waste, reusable bags that you can wash. I have some, I should have grabbed one for this, but which those are great, and they're not made of plastic, so they're not they don't have the BPA or whatever is in plastic. This is clearly scientific. If you're like, yeah, I can't afford to be bougie, I don't want to buy these reusable bags, I have a ton of these, what can I do? This is what I do, is I never buy bags and I just wash these. So I don't put them in the dishwasher. You just gotta do it the old-fashioned way. Get some dish soap, your scrub, wash it up, and then let it dry. You can reuse them. These are the only bags that Chandler and I use. We never buy them. Honestly, the only way that we've actually gotten more of these is because people they give them to us, when they're giving us something, or when we go to a family thing and they're giving us leftovers and they put them in these plastic baggies. And I'm like, whatever, we'll just reuse them. So this is how you can be less plastic free, or more plastic free, is just reusing these. That's all you got. Next item number 2, water bottles. And preferencing that this is if you have access to clean water. If you do not have access to clean water, do not worry about this item because I don't want you drinking dirty water. And it's not a problem if you don't use this. But if you have the privilege and access to clean water, I think you should be making the choice to get a reusable water bottle. I'm pretty sure this is plastic. I got this from, I don't know, like Meijer, which is like a Walmart years ago, and just wash it, reusable. I carry this everywhere. I really like the ones with like the clip because I like couldn't take it on my bike rides. I'll put it on my little fanny pack, or sometimes I just loop it into my shorts. Can take it everywhere. It's accessible. Love it. We love it. So next item is reusable bags. And this is a pretty easy one, I think. I mean, honestly, you can get reusable bags for free. So you can, like, if you're going to a fair or a trade show or whatever, typically there's people handing out reusable bags, which doesn't really happen anymore. Who knows if they're gonna happen again? You can also buy reusable bags, but there's also that thing where it's like, do you have the privilege or the access or the indispensable funds to purchase a reusable bag? If you don't, that's okay. You can just continue to use or reuse your plastic bag that you've gotten. You can always reuse that. That's still doing the same thing. You're still cutting back your waste, you're reusing an item. Or since COVID started, I don't really know if we can bring reusable bags to the store anymore. To be completely honest, I haven't been bringing mine. I need to make sure that I need to wash my reusable bags. I haven't done that since quarantine started, so because I just haven't been using them. But make sure if you do have them, wash them. But I don't know, I'm sure you can now. I've seen a lot of people talk about them. But ladies or guys, whoever, if you like having a bag, like a purse, I have this huge purse, you know, you can throw shit in here. Just plop it in. Or a lot of the times what I'll just make Chandler do is I'll just make us like carry all of our crap. Like if we're just going to Target, we're getting like 3 things, you don't need a bag. You can just carry it out, that's it. Granted, that's like with your smaller purchases, but you're cutting back. You're not using a bag when you could have been using one. You're cutting your waste. Plastic free achieved. So number 4, here we are, we're at number 4 already. Buying in bulk. So I usually try to buy in bulk when I'm purchasing something that's like plastic. So for example, like peanut butter, you know, it comes in a plastic jar. So I'll try to get like the biggest jar of peanut butter at the store. I am an addict of ranch. So, and I know that's not great for the planet either because it's a ton of dairy, but I will grab the biggest bottle of ranch. Usually just trying to grab like the biggest item I can so it lasts the longest, so I don't have to use as many bottles or plastic items that I normally would. Or usually there's a bulk section at your grocery store and you can get like, you know, granola or chia seeds, or sometimes you can get pasta, whatever, in bulk, and you can bring a reusable container. Again, with like COVID, I'm not quite sure how accessible those things are or if they're available. I honestly haven't even been checking, so I don't really know. I will have to look into that, but if you can't do those things, I mean, there's other ways to do that. Like I just said, making sure you're purchasing like the biggest bottle or the biggest quantity of an item. That way you're getting like the most use out of it before you have to go buy another one. And it just like adds up over time. Honestly, I think that we don't have to, like, we buy like a jar of peanut butter like once a year. It's the best. And then the last item I have is just reuse when you can. And so hopefully this is like the most accessible to everybody. Like even if you you're like, I can't commit to any of these things, I can't purchase anything, you have items at your disposal that hopefully you can just reuse. And I grabbed an example here is like, you don't need fancy containers. You don't need whatever. And if you can't buy a huge container and this is your only size, you can reuse this. This is butter it's not. And I reuse this all the time. I will, clearly, because it's like, she's worn down. I use this as a container to hold, like I used to have it as like a container for my yogurt, or for the grapes I would use for lunch, or you know, if you're going on a picnic, you can just throw a little snack in here. I think I've put like a piece of cake or something, or like when I was at work and we had like treats, I would like put something in here and like bring it home for Chandler or whatever. This can be used for whatever. You can hold jewelry in it. It can be used for traveling, whatever. You can reuse it. It's fine. The butter it's not has so many options and a whole other life before you recycle it. So utilize it. So those are my tips. Those are some of the things to keep in mind while you're doing plastic-free July and plastic-free life, honestly. You know, this isn't just the month of July that you're supposed to be plastic-free or thinking about the way that you make waste, or how you, like, what you do with your waste. You're supposed to be kind of thinking about these things all the time, and this month is just supposed to like help you focus on what you're doing. And again, like, you don't have to go completely waste free. I think the zero waste community and sustainability community can sometimes be rose-colored glasses. Like, it's kind of like if you're all in or nothing. But you can honestly, like, I screw up all the time. I do things where I'm like, I shouldn't be throwing this away, but I am. Or I make decisions that I know are not sustainable. And we all make mistakes, and sometimes we just have to ease into them. Like, our economy and our lifestyle is not set up to be convenient to go zero waste or plastic free. So you're never gonna have this really accessible, easy, convenient thing to be able to go plastic free or zero waste. I think there's always going to be a learning curve. There's always going to be, you know, issues that come up in order to achieve that. And I think if you just do what you can and what you are comfortable with, what you have accessibility to, and have the privilege to have a choice for, I think that's totally fine. We're all going at our own pace, and like I always say, I think like Mother Nature's gonna thank you for whatever you can do. So that's kind of like that. In the comments below, let me know what you do to try to eliminate some of your waste, or how you kind of go plastic free, how you try to cut out plastic from your life. I'd love to hear it. Let me know if there's any other resources I should be looking into. I'm gonna link some resources below that you should check out. In particular, the Intersectional Environmentalist website, she has a whole section on waste, so I'm just going to link directly to that topic, and where she talks about plastic, and it has all the resources, including where that TED Talk that I've mentioned before. I'll link to it separately, but that's also in there. She has reading materials, YouTube channels to go to, articles, EPA reports, all the great stuff that you can like pour over and read and check out. Thanks for watching, you guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time.